welcome back to another video on our channel Unboxing Perspectives. I am Kanika and I am here again with a new recommendation video where I am going to recommend you a few love stories that were successful in impressing me. Yeah, this is a big line because I am not a person who is quite a big fan of love stories and I am quite reluctant to read them, but still these few were able to impress me and these few were something which I enjoyed reading. So here are the few recommendations. Before we move on in the video, I would like to request you to please click on the subscribe button as well as the bell icon so that you are notified with every new book that we are reading, with every new video that we are uploading, and with every new analysis that we are trying to do for the different art forms. So starting with the video, I have read a love story very recently, that is The Man Called Ove, and that is something which we will say as wow. Then this is a book which is a wonderful love story presented, though when we search for the genre, it is not a love story genre and it is not something which you will find in that segment. But this book, A Man Called Ove by Frederick Beckman, it's a really a wonderful book. This portrays the story of an old man who is around 70 years of age, and when his wife dies, he is left completely alone without anyone to understand what kind of person he actually is. He is quite a grumpy person and people tend to move away from him, but this particular person, his wife known as Sonza, was quite impressed and with him. So this is a story about how he cares her, how he keeps his things, and how he tries to move on in his life after her death. So this is a wonderful book. You will enjoy it thoroughly, and even when there are places where you will feel like so heavy hearted, you will find subtle humor and wonderful dialogues written in this book which will make you laugh and smile even through your tears. So I guess this is the first book that I will put in this recommendation video, that is The Man Called Ove, and even if it is not under the title love story, but it is a wonderful read. So the second book that I am going to recommend in this series will be The Accident by Danielle Steel. Now Danielle Steel is not an unknown name for the readers who love to read the love stories and is a quite known name in the romance section. So I am recommending this book, The Accident, because there is a wonderful story and the love story is not between a boy and a girl, but the love story is between the daughter and the mother. So a lady who is 44 years old and is in an unhappy marriage is stuck in a situation where her daughter gets severely injured in an accident and stays in a hospital for a long time. How she develops herself, how she supports her daughter, and the way she paints out the walls of the hospital when she is waiting for her daughter to wake up is a wonderfully portrayed scenario. So this particular book is not only focused on two people, but it tells you about the relationship a person can develop when he or she is in a difficult situation. So this book is really a wonderful read when we go on while discussing the romance section. And I think this relationship between a daughter and a mother is wonderfully portrayed in this particular book. Then, moving on to the third recommendation that I have for you here is A Walk to Remember by Nicholas Spark. Again, Nicholas Spark is not a new name for these readers, but A Walk to Remember is something that I really enjoyed. For this particular book is based on a segment which is quite untouched. So this is a story of an introvert girl and how she falls in love with a boy who is famous in the campus and is very rich and is very easy to meld with the people, and he is quite an extrovert person, but here he falls for this introvert girl, and later on it is discovered that she has a severe case of cancer, and then the story continues. Yes, there is not a big mystery, but this is a subtly written book and a wonderfully portrayed book, and this book is also converted to movies. So we are having a movie in Hindi as well as a movie in English based on this book, and they are also a wonderful adaptations. The fourth book that I'm going to recommend you in this series is P.S. I Love You by Cecilia Ahern, and this book is also a different kind of love story that I got my hands on. So here is not actually a love story, but it is how you move on when you have lost someone you love from your heart, right? So in this book, what we have is that this particular person, when he dies, he leaves a set of letters for his wife, and he tells her to move on in her life and how she can develop herself, how she can come out of the trauma, how she should go and meet her family, her old friends, and discover her love for the fashion and the shoes manufacturing that she always had. So this is the story where a person helps the another person to move on from him, and I think it is wonderfully portrayed in this book, and I think that the way she moved on is something that we can also have in our lives, so that we can actually move on from a person, right? So this is quite a wonderful book to read, and it's a light read and it's a fun read, so you can go with this book. Then again, I have the fifth book recommendation, that is The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. Now, this book needs no introduction. This is a book which is based upon a love story between two cancer patients and how they take each other's problem together, and they face those problems as they are in the same situation. They can understand each other because of the similar situation they are in, as well as they can understand the pain that the person is going through when there is a chemo section going on. So this is the story of how they support each other, but at the end, as it is already predetermined, the disease will win and they have to lose each other. So here is a story which starts with the struggles of cancer patient, with continues with how they recover from it, what are the ways that they help them to keep motivated to stay alive and to stay together, as well as to be a person who can be there and to arrange for their own funerals. So this is a wonderful story presented, and I think this is a good read when you are looking for some love stories to read on. So these were the 5 recommendations from my side in this segment, that is the romance column, and the love stories that can move your heart and make you cry. But here are the recommendations in case you are not going for these books. There is a movie adaptation for all these 5 books, and you can watch on the movies as well. They are wonderfully portrayed, and all of these 5 books were converted into quite successful movies. So these are the books that are my recommendations for today's video. In case you have already read those, please mention in the comment section below, and in case you have not yet read but you're looking for something to start in the romance section, then you can surely go for these 5 books, and you can read them even if you are not that fan of this segment. So I guess you enjoyed this video and you will have the same fun while reading these books. If you ask me which one is my favorite among these 5, I will go for A Man Called Ove, and that is the book I will give 5 on 5 stars without any doubt for it. So in case you want to start, go and start with that book, and then you can follow the remaining 4. So I hope you enjoyed this video. In case you liked it, do click on the like button, as well as do mention in the comment section whether you have liked those books or not. Share this video with your friends, and do not forget to click on the subscribe button as well as bell icon. I will see you in the next video. Till then, happy reading.